right, welcome back. I'm going to start my timer for about 15 minutes. I've already put together the underpainting or the value drawing. So if you want to go back and watch that, if you haven't, so you can understand about where I'm at. I'm going to be moving kind of fast here, so I can get everything in here. I'm going to start with getting some of this blue in. Especially the darker blue, and I may need to add some more blue in here. Now this is ultramarine blue, and this vase just looks like it is ultramarine blue. Really does look like it is ultramarine blue. Added a little bit of white to this. So when we come down here, this side of the bowl is going to have more light because of transmission of light. Okay, we've got a nice blue on there. I'm going to go ahead and add my highlight to it. Gathering some white on the tip of my palette knife. I want it to kind of go and give it some movement. Okay, let's start. I'm probably going to go back and finish with that with later. Let's see here. Now this is on my palette. This is orange molly bait. I think that's how you pronounce it. I thought that would make a good orange red. Let's see. I don't paint with it often. Let's see what it would look like with black added to it. And then let's put a little bit of Naples yellow in there. Coming out to be more of an orange. See what white's going to do. It's a little bit too light, too dark for the value I was really hoping for. Try a different strategy. interesting. It's an interesting color. I think it does need to be just a smidgen lighter. Try that. Adding some oleo gel to this. Never done one this color before, so this is either going to work out really well or is not going to work out at all, and I may never use this color combination again. But you know, sometimes you got to try something new, right? Got to try something new. And I just let a little bit of blue get in here. I'm not going to be upset about that. I actually think it would help with color harmony to get a little bit of one of the other colors in the painting in here. And you know, one of the things that I definitely do is if I make a mistake, like I mistake, and I accidentally got some blue in my background color, I don't view it as a mistake. In fact, I'm like, let's put a little bit more in there. I don't view it as a mistake. I take it and I use it in my painting. This is what I've taken from Ellen Langer's mindfulness. This is what I've taken from that is, you know, maybe that was our brain or something, our genius, our inspiration, our our inspiration was telling us, hey, maybe put a little, add more color harmony in there. So that's what I like to do. It also adds a much more interesting painting. Studies have shown that when you paint mindfully, your paintings are preferred. They've done this study with various types of art, with uh, music, with sculptures, with oil painting, all different types of painting, and different types of art, that when you do something mindfully, you create mindfully, which incorporating that mistake into my painting is a form of mindfulness, that you create a painting that is more appealing and pleasant to other people. And I know personally, I like my more mindfulness paintings. I like them better than I like the ones that I've really, you know, tried hard to make just perfect. Plus, working to make something perfect doesn't make it look perfect. It just makes it look overworked, and yeah, it just makes it look overworked. So I don't think striving to make something perfect really has the outcome of what we would really like it to. If that makes any sense. That we don't end up with the perfectness that we were hoping for. We end up with stiff, overworked paintings when we try to make it perfect. So in your painting journey, it should be progress over perfection. We want to shoot for you making steady progress, and don't get hung up on perfection, because if you do get hung up on perfection, then that will stifle your creativity, and it will cause you to not be able to paint. Cause you to get blocked, and no one wants to have artist block, right? And I'm trying to get as much of this red out as possible. That red surely was powerful. But I think what I may do is kind of use this red that's in my brush to help make a that warm center background color. Yeah, let's use a little bit of this red orange in there, and then also use some black. Some more red orange. Love this. Let me see how that looks. I think that one is more of a neutral color though. So part of it is trying to get like the right color, and then also the right value. So I think that that may be a little bit, and that's one of the reasons why I like to get this background color done, something done, this value of it, so that I can get a feeling for what the value needs to be. I'm going to make these a little bit more of that warm color. So I've got two kind of shadow colors going on here. One is a bit warmer than the other, and I'm going to be alternating between them. And then one is a bit cooler than the other. This one's more of the warmer. And see, we've got that distinct cone shape here. And then we've got that warmth here too. And then we've probably got a little bit cooler right over here. Yeah, it is cooler. So I'm going to dipping into that cooler color. And then it looks like it's warmer over here. And again, we've got that clear cone shape here. And this here looks also warmer as well. And actually, this needs to be a little bit lower down. Okay, so we'll probably have to go back in and adjust that, but I think I've got that yellow color where I wanted it most. Now let's add in the shadow white, and a good color to use for the shadow of white, especially on these flowers, is raw umber and white. I just don't like the way that the black and white looks. The raw umber and white does a really nice job. And we've got a lot of shadow white here. Okay, so let's restarting that one. I'm trying to keep these as short as possible. So we've got this one coming out here. Okay, so how can I use that blue in here? And it does, interestingly enough, does have a bit more flavor of blue in this petal than any of the other petals. Isn't that interesting? I don't think I would have noticed that if I hadn't have accidentally put this blue in there. Okay. And then we've got this one here, coming down here. Loading up some more of the raw umber and white. And we've I'm going over a little bit thicker to try to get more of that umber color. Making sure I've got plenty of the shadow umber and white. And then we've got this more just on the side there, and we've got it coming over here. So what do you listen to while you paint? I listen to primarily country music. I'm curious, what do you listen to? And I think I got this center a little bit too close here, a little bit too far away. And I could have moved that down a little bit. So I want to move that down just a little bit so we can have more room to get this baby in there. One of the things that happens a lot, I know it happens to me, happens to a lot of artists that I know, is that our paintings, especially flowers, I'm really bad about my flowers, they tend to grow. So you need to bear in mind as you're setting this up that your flowers are going to grow. And how are you going to accommodate their growth? Okay, this yellow here I've been getting out of, this is cadmium yellow deep. And I'm making a green with the cadmium yellow deep and ultramarine blue. Now let's start adding in some of these. Well, I'm gonna need to get because I want that white to be really vibrant. And I had some green on that brush, and it's just not that vibrant like I really wanted it to be. So let's try this. Yes, that's looking better. I'm just going through and trying to find where those petals are and trying to get in some of those. And part of this is going to be brush control. Can you lay paint on top of other paint? And that just takes practice. And it feels like you are whispering. Can't take credit for that word. That comes from Karen Margulis. She is a pastel painter. And she teaches. She's on Patreon as well. And she's also on YouTube. And she talks about whispering with the pastels. And it really does make sense that you do want your, at times, your pastels to be soft. And you have to gently, gently touch them. And that's what I feel like I'm doing right now is I'm gently touching this brush onto the canvas, trying not to mush it into everything else. At times I do want to create a mixture. times I do want to paint and blend or mix on the canvas. At other times, I want it to sit right on top. When you want it to sit right on top, you need to use hold the paint brush parallel to the panel. And you also want to use a very light touch. Now, one of the things that I like doing, especially when we get a little bit of the undercolor mixed into some of these brush strokes, like here I am trying to mix it in a little bit more, is that what we get are different shades of white. And that's one thing that I love, is it's very interesting. You've got this very interesting different shades of white, different shades of gray, of light white, off-white. That's one of the things that I really do love, is that you can get these shades and this variety of color so that your painting is not going to look just like every other daffodil painting. Getting the darkest dark in here. Very warm color. Just a little bit of this is not quite as big as what I had it out to be. Go back to my white, because I've got a white petal here. Okay, so now I'm going to mix up my lemon yellow and I have this medium yellow here. I'm going to mix these two up. And we're going to start adding the color to these tips. Some are going to get more color than others. Use some of this dark, deep yellow here. Ooh, I like that. So mix it up, try something different. We got to show the three-dimensional aspect of these flowers. And part of that is going to be in this lighter yellow. And I'm going to add some of this yellow and try to get a middle tone here. So capture some of these middle tones here. Yellow is really beautiful. Really doing a marvelous job. Helping me to separate this out. Mixing up my two yellows again. Got some glow here, so we're going to try to get this melded in more, not sitting right on top. A little bit of yellow there. I want to try to get that frilly edge. And that's just taking the brush and just kind of tickling it on here, around the edge. On one or two of the flowers, you want to add a little bit extra detail. I'm going to choose this to be one of those two extra flowers. And I'm adding just this pure, really light yellow to it. Not over everywhere, but just over a couple of sections where I really do see that. Add a little bit more of the detail to it. And just a little touch of a detail right there. Another place we can add to one or two flowers. So you don't want to add a lot of detail to every single flower. You want some of them to be want the reader to do a little bit more, the viewer to do a little bit more work on that. And you want uh, the reader to, or the viewer to be able to do a little bit more of putting this together. All right, so this is a good stopping point for this lesson. It gives you all the different pieces of the puzzle about how to go paint this that you need. I'm going to continue working on this and fine tuning this. And if you'd like to get the extra piece of working on this and taking this further, join my Patreon channel and learning more about how to go and take this further. But you've got a really good spot here, a really good place to be. If you have any questions, please post them in